Hey guys, Dana here. I do hope y'all can hear me over the washing machine going in the background. I had to throw some washing on before I left work this morning. On my way out the door, I realized that I did not have my keys. And best I can tell, they are in my husband's trunk. My husband's trunk is 20 miles away, and I have no way of getting there. So he's actually doing me a solid. He called my brother. My brother's going to drop the spare key off so that I can still get into work. But I do have an hour to kill waiting for him to get here. And so here we go to get together today, this morning. Thank you for tuning in. I wanted to talk about the earthquakes that happened in Los Angeles and kind of review a situation yesterday. I definitely went way down the black pill rabbit hole. Sometimes things do feel so utterly hopeless that it is hard to look your children in the eye and tell them that everything is going to be okay. And that is the truth of the world we are living in. And wasn't it always the truth of the world we were living in? Because what has really changed? It's just that the illusion has been, the veil of the illusion has been ripped from our eyes. And it has been ripped, make no mistake. It did not gently come uncovered. It ripped all the way off violently. This earthquake in Los Angeles. So there was a 4.4 earthquake based near LA this morning on August 7th. So we're talking like a week ago. There was a 5.4 earthquake in California. I thought it was a good time to remember people that if you go back and look at my video on the eclipse, one of the things that they've noticed historically is in years when we have this total solar eclipse, there is increased earthquake activity. So this is historically predicted. Now, that is to be said because I do believe in the history and the numbers, and I think we really need to get down to data and looking at things in a way that makes sense for people. So I hope I can break that down for you today in a way that makes sense. We already have the increased risk of earthquakes. I'm going to have to stop this washing machine. See the camera, is the camera shaking too much? Maybe. It might be. Straighten itself out. Okay. We know to expect earthquakes. That being said, I want to make it a point to state that, in my opinion, for conspiracy theory reasons and entertainment only, and you should do your own research, the United States government, as well as other world governments, have had the technology to cause earthquakes in diverse places for decades. HAARP is something you could look up. That's HAARP. It is a something based in Antarctica, weather monitoring system, I think is how they sell it. But what's going on in Antarctica is really anybody's guess, since we're not allowed to go there and see for ourselves. I'm sure that's just another coincidence. So we're stuck here in this world that they have created for us, a world in which they can, in fact, create earthquakes for us. And I don't know how to live in this world with my kids, because a natural disaster is one thing, but I question every natural disaster now because I know what I know. And so that leaves me in a little bit of a black pill situation. All of that being said, you know, the Olympics just passed. There was a ton of demonic symbolism present from the opening ceremony to the closing ceremony, which essentially featured the closing ceremony now. Lucifer, the angel of light, coming down in a quasi hanged man upside down pose, which I think is very, very symbolic. These are the people that are running HAARP and your government agencies. I don't say this to scare people. I say this because I truly believe in my heart that the more people we reach and bring these truths to, we do have to rip the veil off of other people's eyes, because it is absolutely necessary in order to reach the tipping point, the majority of people being awake and asking the right questions and scaring the right people in totally healthy figurative ways, not literally. The closer we get to that, the closer we are to our true freedoms. And to think that we live in America and it's a free country is absolutely sheepishly moronic. I don't even know how people live like that. I don't know how I lived. I know that I always sensed that there was something deeper going on. I know that I had taken my own senses and my own interpretation of the world around me, and I allowed myself, I allowed myself to be educated and propagandized by a system that was a heliocentric system. And I turned off my own senses and logic and I turned theirs on. And there comes a point when you have to stop using their logic and start interpreting things from a new plane, if you will. Interpret things from a new perspective. Flat Earth, in and of itself, sounds like a silly theory. I would say that I am more a toroidal field or donut-shaped Earth person. I believe there's an electromagnetic component that kind of keeps us within this veil or shield, you know, the idea being like this is like the lowest level of heaven or the highest level of hell. Demons are still in control, so I would presume to think that we are certainly not in heaven, but hopefully we are working some shit out. We'll get there next time. The more people that wake up, the closer we're going to be to overcoming this through not just legislation, but it's time for all of us to take all of the political power back by running for office in local elections, having a say in what actually happens in our cities and counties. And I'll tell you, coming from a big place like Philadelphia to a small place like my county in central Kentucky, it matters even more in places like this. Blue cities, Detroit, Chicago, New York, they're gone. Washington, D.C. is literally its own country. They're gone. They've been making their own laws. Those cities, the best advice I can give you is flee. Flee now. Flee now while you can. Because you don't want to think, oh, that dizzy bitch from Rumble was right. One day, when a mob's breaking in your house for the last of your potable water. So, friends, be safe. Practice situational awareness at all times. Know where you are. Know what the major weather concerns are. Here it's tornado, and that's something else that I believe, and hurricanes that I happen to believe that are geoengineered weather for the most part. Of course, natural disasters have always happened, but not at the frequency we're seeing them now. The fact that I can't go outside and see the sun, but it's bright, it's just through the chemtrail haze that they started spraying yesterday morning. I am over this shit. Is anybody else just fucking over this shit? All right, friends, hang in there. I'm sorry to be a black bill today. I hope nobody out there was affected by the earthquakes in California. I would appreciate it if you would thumbs up or like the video, whatever. Share it with your friends if you have other people there who are normies, who are just waking up to the idea that like maybe the world as they've been told is not exactly what it seems. It is time for people to start thinking in a way that expands beyond the globe. Okay? You guys have a good day. Have a better morning than me, and I will be with you again soon.